Daniel, thanks very much for being here. Welcome to the show.
Great to be here, George. I think we did see a bit of a change towards the end of 2019. How I explained it at the time was you sort of had four different players now. One of them was very much the disruptors, the startups, Monzo, Revolut, etc. in the UK and obviously around the world, lots of other interesting names, Chime, N26, etc. Then you also had, I guess what I call the super apps, so Wechat Pay and Alipay, both obviously from Asia, and increasingly looking at doing things around the world, very much in Europe, although quite tentatively. And I guess then you had the legacy banks who were already undergoing significant amounts of change. So let's just say the top 5 banks in the UK and obviously around the world, many, many more, who were already undergoing a sort of a digitization process, perhaps not as quickly as they should be, but nonetheless, and still having enormous scale and sort of firepower. And then in the other corner, you had big tech, and we're all very familiar, Amazon, Facebook. Those guys increasingly were launching things. So obviously we had Libra from Facebook, and we had Apple's partnership with Goldman Sachs to launch a sort of credit card. I think you almost had this sort of new parity where you had 4 very different players who all had a viable argument why they could be the future, at least in part, of what financial services looks like. The net result of that was that the startups just began to change a bit, and they'd reached that scale where they could seriously be taking on these huge firms.